All I know is that the ancient Engwithan Digsite is somewhere to the north or northeast from here. What I do remember of them was this. Little is known about the long-lost Engwithan Empire or its culture. Called the Builders by the tribes of Glanfath, the Engwithans are believed to have created strange, elaborate structures over decades, using shaped pillars of living Adra to support the stone. Their language is barely understood by even the most well-read scholars, leaving many details of their society lost to the ages and hopelessly mired in rumor, folklore, and blatant lies. It was, however, extremely individualistic, hierarchic, and violently opposed to any competing ideas, especially communal modes of living. With their origins around 100 to 200 AI, Engwithan society was organized into independent kingdoms ruled by tyrants. These absolute rulers enjoyed great power and wealth, and perhaps the greatest of them being Caed Nua, controlling areas currently belonging to the Free Palatinate of Deerwood. He went mad after the death of his son, Meros, because he knew there were no gods to ensure he would be properly reincarnated. He dedicated his life to carving a massive statue of his son out of living Adra with the intention of drawing Meros' soul out of the beyond by force. He engineered a massive statue of living Adra to house Meros' soul, but his plans were stopped by the concerted efforts of other Engwithan tyrants who saw him as a threat and buried him with his work. However, not all of it was lost. Advances in animancy that occurred under Caed Nua's reign paved the way for mastery over souls. Centuries of research followed, fueled by religious wars that inspired the Engwithans to seek the answer to the greatest of the questions: did gods exist? They devoted all their energy to finding the true creators. Generation after generation, they prodded and worked the stitching of the world and unlocked its secrets. One day, they found an answer, except the answer was no answer at all. There were no gods to be found, or if there ever were, they were gone. Determined to fill the gap and give meaning to the endless grinding of the wheel, the Engwithans refocused on animancy and enlisted the aid of the mighty Juana, Empire of Ucasio, in their glorious pursuit. The plan was simple: replace the thousands of false idols with just 11 that were no less false, but had the decisive advantage of actually existing. To the north, I assume. Actually, it's on the east side. So no, we are actually not going the correct way. So we're not going the right way to the ancient Engwithan Digsite. But to the north there is something, and we will investigate. It looks like an old battleground. It isn't always easy to judge who fought or why, but what belongings the dead leave behind is a legacy that anyone can claim. And we will do exactly that. The site of a recent battle spreads before us. The bodies of the routed force still lie where they fell, though most have been picked clean by scavenging beasts. We'll search the location. Take some time to explore the battlefield, a couple hours have passed, and find a motley assortment of coins on the warrior's remains. We've gained a bunch of Azata Nushel. The item was put into our stash. Now, does not count as Juana currency. Keep searching the location. Continue to poke around the area. 3 hours have passed. Find a bundle of unused scrolls bearing arcane runes and incantations. Okay, we'll keep searching. We're in no absolute rush, so it's not like we have pressing need to be elsewhere. Continue to poke around the area. Another 4 hours. Find nothing of value. Let's just search another time. Continue to poke around the area. It's nighttime now, obviously. It's dark. It's harder to see. 3 hours have passed. Find a weapon in better shape than we would have expected. Find an item, great sword. Okay. We wandered the length of the battlefield. There was nothing left of any value. Ah, but what's this over to the west? Nothing, old ruins. You see a merchant ship out in the water, sailing around. Beautiful little lake. I say it's really pleasant here. Let's to the south. I can see we can actually make out the feet of Eothas when he came on land. There's a rice farm. A solitary rice farmer looks bountiful enough to welcome trade. Well, let's see what we can do. Night is approaching. So they have rice. I assume that we'll be able to use this for our crew. Well, it's cheap. It's really cheap. But I don't want to carry that much on us. We'll carry a little bit. what do we have to sell? Probably... Oh, that brigandine we'll keep. That's right. Here's the sword we found. The two-handed sword. But nobody in our party uses such an item. But we'll keep it just in case we come across another person who joins us that could use that sword. Really have anything that I know that we can sell, and that usually comes down to items. I guess we could get rid of the torches. We have a wand no one uses. Brigandine armor. That's good enough if you ask me. Let's go. And there's nothing else. Nighttime. Another night approaches. Follow the feet of Eothas. Go through this bit of the forest. The trail before us seems thoroughly disturbed by erratic tracks. The sparse plants to the immediate sides of the path, roughly mangled. A struggle may have occurred here. Okay, let's search the area. Huh. The Shoti is more perceptive, but Adair is better at survival. I'm gonna task Adair with this. Adair makes sense of the chaos within moments. No blood spatters suggest it was not a fight, and our compatriot easily identifies the clawed prints of Zarups. The tracks seem recent. A dry and ropey vine has been pulled taut across the path and inexpertly covered in dirt. Beyond, a group of robed figures cringe and cower at a nearby river's bend. Each is frozen in place, ashen and grey, like statues crafted of soot. Let's disarm the trap. I would be the best to do something like that. Though the trap seems simple, I take care as I disarm it and collect its component parts. Oh, we have a corrosive cloud trap. Continue. Oh. Let's search for the Zarups. You hear the series of quiet chirps and growls ahead, and make out the movement of small forms through the undergrowth. Sneak closer to observe. These are intelligent, semi-intelligent creatures. We creep closer, parting the grass for a better view. A handful of Zarups hiss and snap at one another, shaking their spears in their scaled fists. They stand over the apparent source of their argument, a small pile of loot, likely stolen from the other travelers. Wonder if I couldn't stoke their anger with my cipher abilities. Focus on them. Stoke their anger. Reach out with my thoughts and brush the simple, chaotic minds of the wilder. As if blowing on an ember, I encourage their anger. Their hissing grows more heated, and they begin to jab at one another. Finally, two leap at a third, who scrambles away and into the overgrowth. The Zarups all give chase, crashing after. With the Zarups gone, we're able to collect what they left behind. We discover a few coins, a tattered cloak, and an old stiletto. Okay. Through the daylight is now on us. Here's the ancient Engwithan Digsite, and Eothas was heading right directly for it. Considering what he did to Caed Nua, I hope that everything is alright here, but I don't know. I don't hold out that much hope. Again, look at these people, frozen as if statues of ash.
Huh? I've got it. Sure.
They just blow apart.
Watch your weight.
Huh? Shoti bends double, hands resting briefly on her knees before she wipes sweat from her brow. Huffing to catch her breath, she glances up at me with a bright smile. Yes?
If you'll spare me a minute, I'd like to perform a last rite for these poorly departed souls.
She reaches for the lantern on her hip.
Please, Watcher. Without my guidance, they might have a hard time finding the light.
Okay. For Shoti, I'll allow it. I don't see any souls around. They've departed. At least they're not in this immediate area. But I'll allow it.
Mighty kind of you.
She grins happily with two intent strides forward as she unsheaths her sickle and lantern, fluidly swinging each in a series of well-practiced movements. Chanting, whirling, weapons slicing the air, Shoti's voice lilts and falls in an invocation, a summons to any departed, lingering in the area.
This here's a final call for all souls. Last stop for the lost. Gather round now, I'll cut you loose and haul you into the light.
Swinging the lantern faster and faster, Shoti plants her thighs wide and then thrusts her arms up high overhead. The lantern rattles in her grip, and the light from within flares blindingly bright. In the silence of my held breath, it almost seems like a soul should sift up from within one of the corpses, quivering in the air before siphoning into the lantern's fading brilliance. But the ashen bodies are bereft of souls, so in the end, Shoti's light fades without acquiring anything. Say nothing.
It's my honored duty to reap and shepherd departed souls during their journey to being reborn. With Eothas dead, me and the other reapers gotta gather as many souls as we can.
Okay. I can tell you where the souls are, though, Shoti, but...
We'll keep them safe until Gon returns to hell and can take them into his divine embrace.
I rub the dirt from her cheek. A blush spreads hot beneath my thumb, and Shoti glances away, no longer able to meet my gaze, but her lips curve into a pleased smile.
I'm keeping lost souls. And here.
She taps the metal frame of the lantern.
And that's all I care to say for now. Let's go.
She nods before setting off. Yeah, this is awful, but there's nothing but ash left. There's no...
Huh? Mm-hmm. Will do.
These bodies won't even stand the rain and wind for long. They're all going to just...
Nope.
Blow away. It's pretty terrible, but...
Yeah?
They do have coin on them. Picking up some of these roots. Maybe we can use them in alchemical mixtures. Shoti seems to be someone who's interested in that. It's never been my thing. Reeds, roots. And is this a statue of Eothas? Or is it just a statue?
I've got
a soldier guarding the old site. It's made of Adra, is it not?
Enemies ahead. Yeah?
Something's ahead. Okay.
Yeah?
Dim in the lantern.
Right.
Let's get a little bit closer if we can.
Will do.
Warning, extreme danger inside. By order of Odorisi, the training hall is off limits to exploration. Deserted cat.
Yeah? Mm-hmm.
Hello, kitty. Ah, the cat wants to come with us. Okay, the cat can follow. Maybe the cat will be a better pet than this spirit pig thing that we're taking around.
Huh?
And the cat can help us sense things, perhaps, ahead that we can't easily see. Okay, so there's the training hall there that says don't go in. Oh, here's the enemy we saw. Okay. Some kind of worms.
Huh? Sure. Got it.
Take him down.
Huh? Sure. Right.
Let's go.
I've got its attention. I hurt a little bit. I'm alright though.
On it.
Take their claws. Luminous Adra pool. What's this? So, there's no one here? There's a journal page, though. Weather journal page. Whatever Odorisi did to that last batch is working. We're seeing much higher concentrations of essence in the harvested Adra. I only wish he'd let the rest of us in on his methods. One of the Juana workers got the jolt of his life transporting one of the crates, and that's on top of the one that got blinded last week. All Odorisi has to say for himself is that they were careless. I'm the one paying these islanders' families out of my pocket. At this rate, I'm going to be the one idiot who comes out of this whole enterprise with less money than I started.
Yeah, sure.
Seems to be hooked up. What is this? The generator occasionally vibrates wildly and you can faintly hear the sound of metal grinding on metal from somewhere inside the machinery. Poor Juana. What's this notice say? Warning, extreme danger inside. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to go and look inside there. There's no one inside the tent? Whoever was in here left in the middle of drinking their tea, so I can only assume Eothas did this. Scrawled note. Ferris, take this coin out to the Wana village and see if you can round up anyone willing to do a week's digging for pay. Try the low caste types first, the Roparu. They're used to hard work and they don't ask for more than their share.
Yeah? Mm-hmm.
So did anyone survive?
I've got it.
There's a lot of places here to explore. This could take a while. Yes.
Huh?
No one
Not
went through it. Rice. More rice that would be able to bring back to the ship. Yeah, this is a big area. It's not small.
Nope.
Hardtack.
Huh?
Well, it's food, though. No one wants to eat this stuff.
Will do.
Let's go down here.
Looks like trouble.
Some kind of large cat.
Yeah?
Ow. Why am I always taking all the hits? Thank you, Shoti. Nice hit, Adair. Ah.
Yeah? Mm-hmm.
Just taking their supplies. Obviously, these people won't have any use for it. Does this open up beneath me? Looks like it does. Yes, I don't know anything about this site.
On it.
Several men and women appear to be locked inside a cage of some kind. They're little more than silhouettes behind the glass, pointing and gesturing excitedly. Okay.
You out there. Are the beasts gone?
A Valian. One woman comes up to the door, hands pressed against the glass. I took care of the creatures. The woman turns away to have a muffled exchange with the others. Then she pulls at something by the door and hear a rattling clank. Some survivors. Good.
Perfetto! We are saved!
A youngish man with bright eyes and a twitching smile claps his hands in joy as he steps out of the cage. The woman next to him, however, remains sober.
Me and the Watcher? We're always happy to help.
She beams at me, eyes filled with pride.
Governor Clario must have sent you to rescue us, no? But you do not look like one of his guards.
She rises onto the balls of her feet and peers behind me, as if searching for someone else. She looks to be only midway into her 30s, though the serious set of her mouth makes her seem older. Actually, Clario sent me to find Odorisi, or his notes. An older woman hawks an impressive gob of phlegm onto the ground and kicks a clump of dirt over it.
I told you the governor does not care about us. This is all about profit. For him, the rest of the Valiant.
He had no idea that anything went wrong. Well, he must have, because he sent me to find out why there's been no reports from here. But I don't think he thought the entire place, or nearly everyone here, was killed.
Caloste!
She silences the others with a sharp look. She turns back to me with a resigned breath.
You are here, and that is what matters.
Where is Odorisi? The Animasters look to one another.
He is still in the ruins, we think.
She grimaces, her gaze darting to her toes. What happened here?
We were taking measurements of the luminous Adra when something strange began happening.
Fascinating. The pillar started to dim, the ground shook, and our instruments showed unusual variations.
He licks his lips.
That's when those of us with a grain of sense got into the cage.
She glares at the excitable young man, but he does not seem to notice. The cage. This protected you.
Something we made to protect ourselves from surges in the luminous Adra.
Oh.
Those have not been a problem, but I am grateful today for unnecessary precautions.
Yes.
The Colossus. Some kind of construct made from luminous Adra. It passed through the arena toward the pillar.
Okay, the pillar at the top. Vanessa closes her eyes. Okay.
Moments later, the pillar went dark, and all of our colleagues outside the cage froze. Like they turned to ash.
She goes quiet, her hands clasped in front of her. The young man leans forward, his eyes wide with a perverse kind of excitement.
That is when the panthers and worms showed up. Started going through the tents. It was awful, but Engwithan.
Vanessa shoots him a furious look, and he falls silent again. A confused and silent, slightly injured expression crinkles his face. Oh, go on.
Some of our people are still missing in the ruins, including Odorisi, our lead researcher. It is possible he managed to hide.
Her furrowed brow, however, suggests otherwise. I should go look.
Most of the ruins are that way, through the door next to the ramp.
She points to a dark entrance in the eastern wall of the arena.
If you are going below, you should take Engwithan with you.
She turns and motions someone to the front of the group.
Hey, he looks just like...
Adair cuts himself off for reasons not yet apparent. His jaw is hung slack. Eothas? It does look like Eothas. A sharp-featured elf comes to the fore. As he meets my eyes, he gives me a knowing nod. He's earned a few new scars, but I recognize Eothas Corficer all the same. He taps a finger to his lips, a sly smile working its way across them.
Engwithan knows a great many spells. At first, he even cast fire to chase away the panthers.
Did he?
Until the flames nearly caught one of the tents.
Oh?
We then decided it would be better to preserve our remaining supplies, in case we ever got out.
And when the supplies ran out?
She scratches the bridge of her nose, looking concerned. The others look away and avoid further speculation.
I do not expect the ruins will be any safer. Many of our people remained behind, which has surely attracted more wildlife. It would be prudent to take help, as long as Engwithan is willing to go.
She looks quickly to Eothas. He nods.
I would be happy to assist.
He holds my gaze with wide, expectant eyes. What else can you tell me about Engwithan?
I don't think that's really...
No, I do.
He has only been with us a few weeks. He is inexperienced, but he came with a glowing recommendation from an academy in Celona.
That is surely a generous overstatement.
Eothas chuckles uncomfortably and gives me a meaningful look. A glowing recommendation, you say?
Surely we don't have time for...
A pupil of unnatural talent is the phrase I recall. It seems he was loved and regarded by almost all his instructors, though misunderstood, I gathered, by his fellow students.
I cannot imagine why.
The old animaster rolls her eyes.
Really, this helpful stranger surely has more important things to worry about.
The tips of Eothas' ears are bright red. He glares at me. Impressive, especially since he doesn't sound Valian.
That's quite a...
Students come from all over the world to study animancy in the republics, especially since it is still forbidden in places like Adir.
But Engwithan's story is especially sad. He was only a boy when both his parents died in a fire.
He came to the Deerwood and lived at the manor of a wealthy older uncle until he also died.
Okay.
In a fire.
If that's all, then perhaps we should be off.
He raises an eyebrow and stares at me pointedly. What else can you tell me about Engwithan?
I don't think that's really...
No, if there's anything else, let me know.
He has only been with us a few weeks. He is inexperienced, but he
Okay,
came with...
I know.
That is surely a generous...
I see.
If that's all, then perhaps we should be off.
I'll gladly accept his help. He gives me a quick smile.
Be careful, amico.
She gives Eothas' hand a quick squeeze before backing away.
I shall try.
Eothas nods at her before leading me a short distance away.
Thank you for your discretion. I'm certain you have many questions, but I fear they must wait until we're off this island.
He casts a regretful glance back at Vanessa and the Animasters. Your wealthy old uncle, really?
It seemed like a convenient story. Besides, you do have the oldest soul of anyone I know.
At least tell me what you've been doing here.
That's a rather long story. The short version, for now, is that I'm gathering information on local animancy operations.
He looks me up and down.
But I could ask you the same.
You want to know the long story? Well, it'll take too long. Anyways, the short story is Eothas destroyed my keep, killed most of the people there, and nearly killed me. He'll answer for it.
Well, there's never a dull moment with you.
He raises an eyebrow.
We can speak more freely once we're away from Port Mage. For now, let us find Oderisi.
Okay. Yes, it's been some time since I last saw you. Good as you always were, Eothas. Unfortunately, I sold a wand. I hope you have your own. He has a scepter and a rapier. Eothas leather armor. Okay. He's got his own. Good enough for now, then. Alright, we have an entire place to explore and try to find this Oderisi.